Okay, you know that feeling, right? You walk into a room for the very first time, but suddenly everything feels intensely familiar. Or a friend starts telling a story and you swear you've heard these exact words in this exact spot before. It's that weird, spooky feeling we call déjà vu. But what's really going on in your brain when that happens? Well, let's dive in. Of course, pop culture has given us a very cool, very sci-fi explanation for this. I mean, who hasn't heard this one? The idea that déjà vu is a glitch in the matrix is probably the most famous theory out there. It's this wild idea that the feeling is a sign that reality itself has just been changed on the fly. But what if we've been looking in the completely wrong place? What if the glitch isn't out in the world, but it's happening inside the incredibly complex wiring of our own minds? And here's the kicker. What if it's not actually a glitch at all? To really get to the bottom of déjà vu, you first have to understand this kind of internal conflict that's always happening inside your head. It's like a constant tug of war between two different parts of your brain, and they're both trying to handle your memory. Think of it like this. On one side, you've got the feeling center. This is in your temporal lobe, and it's fast, it's intuitive. It's the part that just fires off a signal that says, hey, I've seen this before. But on the other side, you've got the fact checker in your frontal lobe. And this part is much slower, more methodical. It's the part that goes, hold on a sec, let me check the records. Have we really seen this before? So déjà vu, it's literally the moment those two systems clash. Your feeling center is yelling, I know this place, I swear I've been here. But your fact checker, after a quick search, calmly replies, nope, all records show this is a totally new experience. That split second of disagreement, that internal argument, that is the feeling of déjà vu. Okay, so that brings up a huge question, right? If you've never been there before, why is your feeling center sending out a false alarm? Where does that powerful but totally wrong sense of familiarity even come from? Well, researchers think it's all about partial matches. So for example, you walk into a new cafe, but the way the tables and the counter are set up is really similar to, say, your old college library. Or maybe you see a single familiar object, like a lamp in a friend's new house that looks exactly like one from your childhood. Your brain picks up on this little piece of familiarity, this feature overlap, but it can't quite place it, so it accidentally applies that feeling to the entire new scene. And get this isn't just a theory they cooked up. Scientists can actually trigger this feeling in a lab. They've shown participants new scenes, and by using subtle prompts, they can make people feel like a scene is familiar, even when there's no actual memory to back it up. It's amazing proof that the feeling of knowing something can be totally separate from the act of remembering it. So we have this false feeling of familiarity, and then we have a fact-checking system that catches it. And this is where it all comes together, and it is honestly the coolest part of this whole thing. We're about to completely reframe what déjà vu actually means. All right, let's get this perfectly straight because it goes against everything we naturally think. That weird, glitchy feeling of déjà vu, it is not your memory system failing. It's not a sign that something is broken. It's the exact opposite. Deja vu is the sign that your brain's fact-checking system is working perfectly. It's you consciously noticing that your brain has spotted a rogue feeling of familiarity and is correctly calling it out as false. It's your brain's internal quality control system, and you're feeling it in real time. I love how neuroscientist Akira O'Connor puts it. He says it's a sign that your fact checking is working well, and it's actually preventing you from forming a false memory. It's a successful check and balance, not a system failure. How cool is that? Okay, so if déjà vu is actually a sign of a healthy, well-functioning mind, that leads to some other interesting questions, like who gets it the most, and what makes it more likely to happen? Well, a few things seem to play a role. For one, it's way more common in younger people. Things like stress and being tired can also make it more likely. A fatigued brain is just a bit more prone to these little misfirings. People who travel a lot also report it more, which makes sense, right? You're constantly in new places where these partial matches can happen. And even a neurotransmitter, dopamine, is involved in signaling that feeling of familiarity. In fact, if you look at it over a lifetime, it's fascinating. You start having these experiences around age 5, but they actually peak in our late teens and mid 20s. And why then? Because that's when your brain's error detection system is at its absolute sharpest. As we get older, and maybe those fact checking systems aren't quite as aggressive, we actually start to experience deja vu less often. So the next time you get that eerie, unmistakable feeling, don't just brush it off as a weird trick of the mind. I want you to stop and just appreciate what's actually going on. It's a little reminder that you have a healthy, vigilant brain that is working around the clock to keep your reality in check. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know, the next time you feel that glitch in the matrix, are you going to see it as a strange mistake? Or are you going to see it as a sign that your mind is working exactly as it should be, protecting you and keeping you sharp? Pretty cool thing to think about.